Hello, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies. Today's video is about this question: why shouldn't I just give away all my work for free? This is something occasionally somebody will say, or they'll confess it in the workshops. I just want to give it away all away for free. So first of all, you can do that. If you have enough savings, or you have somebody who's willing to support you, or you've got another job, something. I mean, why not? So there's no dogma about this, I'd say, but. Let me first of all just affirm that most of us, I think, hippies in business, are trying to do the very difficult thing of threading the needle of how do you make your work accessible for them, but also sustainable for us. Yeah, and that this is hard. This is not an easy thing to do. I have a whole other video about alternative economic models, and I'll put that below. But just to affirm that that's true, how do we make it so that people can, enjoy the benefits of the work that we do, but without it destroying us and burning us out? But I want to specifically address this question: why not give it all away for free? Because there are reasons not to give it all away for free that go beyond just, would you go broke doing it? Okay, so one of them is that when you give these things away for free, people tend not to actually use them or benefit from them. I can't tell you how many massage therapists I've talked to who've given away free massages, and the people don't get as much out of the massages. So there's that. Or you have a product you make and you just give it away for free, but then people don't value it the same way. This isn't about money per se, and that's a good distinction to make. It's not that giving it away for free is because that can seem like a radical thing to do. Well, I'm opting out of the capitalist model. You see, I'm not taking money for this, so I'll just give it away. But that's not anti-capitalist. That's collapse. That's overgiving. And if people don't invest in something, they tend not to value it. They tend to value it less. If you had, I remember some friends of mine, and they made this, I think it's called the bombilla, you drink your mate out of, and their friend had one. It was really beautifully made, and they were coveting it. And he said, I tell you what, he said, I'm not going to give you one, but I'll give you a seed for the kind of gourd that's used. You plant that seed, you grow the gourd, carve the gourd out, you bring it back to me, and then we'll do it. So you see what I'm saying? It took them a year to grow it. When they finally got their bombilla, oh man, they were pretty excited about it. So the more that people invest themselves and their time and their money and their resources into something, the more they will get out of it. This is the same for, initiations of young men. They wouldn't just take the 12-year-olds in a community and say, so guess what? You're men today. Congratulations. Here you got your adult badge. There you go. No, of course, it was an ordeal that they had to go through. And so on the other side of it, they really valued being welcomed into the company of adults. Also, when you give these things away for free, it's not just they don't value it, they don't thank you often as much. It's so strange. You would think that if you gave it away for free, they'd be the most grateful. Those would be the people who'd be thanking you the most. And yet somehow it's not true. Why? Because they don't value it. It's because you treated it like it's not worth very much. They seem to treat it like it's not worth much. And you might think, no, I am treating it like it's worth a lot. When I gave it to them, I really had that intent in my mind that it was worth a lot. But you can't transfer that. You can't just put that into them, the appreciation of it. The appreciation has to be earned and come to in some way. You will burn out doing this, of course, if you just keep giving away for free and they don't value it, and so they're not expressing the gratitude to you, they're not thanking you. It's less fulfilling. And also when people say want to give it away for free, it's not always to the people they most want to give it to anyways. It's the people who, I don't know, sometimes just the ones that whine the loudest, that are actually the worst clients, who complain the most, so they give them something for free, to appease them. But of course, it's difficult to appease someone when they're in a syndrome of poor me. And, so one of the things that's true, I think, is that we're born with certain gifts. Yeah. And the being born with those gifts, the obligation is to give those gifts to the community. So that, I think that's true. Everyone has these gifts. And second, there are meaningful needs in the community. And it's important to find the match between those. Our gifts and the meaningful need in the community, and the place where those meet is a real sweet spot. If you also add the third level of that it sustains you in some way. If you can give your gifts in a way that sustains you and genuinely addresses a meaningful need in your community, that will be sustainable. But if you just give it away for free out of reflex or because you have a hard time accepting money, what will happen is you will probably burn out and become deeply resentful over time. And that's no good. That doesn't help. Anybody. So, sure, for your friends. I give free marketing consulting for friends, but hey, I'll tell you a story about this. Just a few years ago, there was a restaurant in town. They closed down, sadly, but they were really struggling to get people in. And so I donated 2 hours of my time. I went over there and we sat down, and a lot of good ideas came out of it. Maybe nothing perfect, nothing was going to save the day, but there were a lot of some very solid ideas. And I gave 2 hours of my time, 2 hours I could have spent elsewhere on other things. And then about a year later, they called me, still struggling financially. And they said, "Hey, Tad, can we talk to you about marketing?" I said, "I'd be happy to. Let's go over the notes from what we talked about last time." And we were texting, and she replied, "Oh yeah, what happened with those notes?" Which told me they hadn't done anything with it. I promise you, if I charged $1,000 for that 2 hours, they would have used those notes, or more likely to. So, giving things away for free is a way of collapsing. It's a way of overgiving. And the other thing I would add to this is the importance of filtering. And I'll put a link to a bunch of videos you can watch on this notion of filtering. But basically that making sure that not just because they want to work with you doesn't mean they're a fit, doesn't mean it's going to be a match. And if it's not a match, if it's not a fit, they're not going to really benefit from it. This is so important. But let's say they come with a health condition and your treatment doesn't help address that health condition. They're not going to get anything out of it. They come for therapy on an issue that you have no particular experience or interest in. It's not a fit. Well, it's not going to help. They come to my marketing workshop, but they have no business at all. How am I going to help them market something that doesn't exist? It's not a fit. So the money is part of the filter. I have this too. Here's another one. Now I'm thinking of stories. People will email me all the time. That's an exaggeration, but from time to time I get an email where somebody says, "Hey, quick question. Hey, I'd like to pick your brain. Hey, just and the questions they're asking are never quick. And so what I usually do is I reply and I say, "Hey, that's a really good question. I'd be happy to chat with you about it. Here's a link to my coaching page and rates and all that. Let me know how much time, if you'd like to book any time." And, sometimes I hear back from them, sometimes I don't. And if I don't, that was the filter, yeah? They weren't actually serious about getting my help. They wanted something quick and free, but they didn't want to invest anything. And so that tells me they didn't value me that much, or maybe they didn't have the money. But that can be one way to deal with it. So the money is one filter. But this is of course why I do PWYC workshops. This is why there's so many videos like this free online. That's why I have 700 blog posts, so that people can still get access to this stuff for free. But in terms of our personal time, it's just something we have to be mindful of, because otherwise you can just completely deplete yourself giving and giving and giving in a way that doesn't benefit you at all long term, and doesn't benefit them maybe nearly as much as you might think. And giving it away for free, if you're going to, I would do some filtering. First of all, there are probably trades that could be done. There are ways they might be able to volunteer to help you with something. Could you come to my workshop and help me clean up after? Something simple. Help with a setup and tear down. Then I'd be happy to give you a spot in the workshop. You could do that, but you can also can and should have a kind of ideal client page, here's who this is a fit for, this is not a fit for, so that at least if you give it for free, you're giving it to the right people. So of course, this is the conversation about niching, ideal client, what I would call the big circle. Anyways, I'll put some links to the alternative economic models and filtering below. And if you like this video, please share it up. Share it with your friends, tag some people you know. Feel free, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the subscribe button, a little red button, probably over here. And then there's a little icon, bell icon that you can click. If you're watching this on Facebook, you can like my page, and then you'll see more videos when they come. So hopefully that's helpful, everyone. That's my thoughts on why you shouldn't just give things away for free beyond just the fact that you'll go broke. Thanks so much.